nerds. This is the Pretty Nerdz podcast. Let's get into it.
Now point your fingers up to the sky and talk through your nose way up high. Spin and dip and jump and cavort and finish it off with a laugh and snort.
Hi guys, welcome back to the Pretty Nerdz podcast. This is your girl Falan DeAnn.
And this is your girl Nay.
So how's everything been going?
Pretty good, not too bad. Been a little under the weather lately. My allergies and sinuses have been kicking my butt. Been feeling so exhausted. I don't know what it is about when like my allergies and sinuses are get to going. It just makes me so freaking tired. What about yourself?
Nothing. Pretty much start a new job, so excited about that. And just watching my baby grow. Other than that, nothing much.
Okay. So I added a new intro. If you guys didn't notice in the last show, I added a new intro. Try to spice it up a little bit. So let me know what you guys think about it. So make sure you guys drop us a line either on the DMs, on Instagram, or obviously hit the website prettynerdzdpodcast.com, and that's nerds with a Z. Just drop us a line and let us know what you think about the new intro, or if you want to submit some questions or topics that you guys want us to talk about. I'm curious for feedback. All right. So I guess we can go ahead and jump into the hot topics for this week. It's pretty light. We don't really have a lot to, despite us being absent for a little bit. But the truth of the matter is it's just been a little light lately. I mean, it ain't really been a lot to talk about. But nonetheless, I say we kick off on a happy note or happy things. Our girl, the GOAT, Simone Biles, she won her 7th U.S. title. Obviously, they're getting ready to head into the Olympics, but I mean, just congratulations to her. She continues to dominate the sport of gymnastics. I mean,
I think it was, I know it wasn't this most recent competition. I feel like it was the one before that, where they kind of like tried to change the scoring system. When she did, it was a move that like a male had done a long time ago that she dominated. It looked like easy for her, because me, I fall. But anywho, but they like changed the scoring system and she still like came out on top. It's like, bro, y'all gotta chill.
Basically, she's just incredible and doing incredible feats. And I just love to see it. Like, I remember for me when I was young, I've never had a gymnastics body. I'm a thick girl. So, but I used to be in absolute awe and love and adore Dominique Dawes. I remember seeing her in the 96 Olympics when they were in Atlanta. And like, all I wanted to do was be a gymnast. But I was like, I never could do it because, like I said, I'm a thick girl and it just wasn't for me. But I just absolutely adored and loved her. And I just love that this new generation of young Black girls coming up has someone like Simone Biles. Like we had Dominique Dawes, they have Simone Biles that they can look up to. And the fact that she is just absolutely dominating the sport, freaking incredible. Also, I guess it's not really good news, but since it's kind of in the sport world as well, as we know, Naomi Osaka, Lord. Anyway, she pulled out of the French Open because of mental health. I mean, she announced before the French Open that she, wasn't going to do any press because of her mental health. Then she was fined. Obviously, the first press conference that she skipped, there was so much kind of negative that was being thrown at her and so much kind of negative stuff that she just went ahead and decided to pull out of the Open altogether. She announced that she's been suffering from depression quietly for about the past 2 years or so. And she just said, hey, I'm going to take a break for a little bit from tennis to get myself together, get my mental health together. And then when I come back, hopefully we can address some of this stuff. I can work with the tournament to see how we can address and fix and make some changes for the better to the sport. She has kind of stuck to that. The event before Wimbledon that's supposed to take place in Berlin, it's kind of like the warm up for Wimbledon. She has already pulled out of that. So I'm assuming more than likely it's looking like she will probably pull out of Wimbledon as well. What are your thoughts?
I mean, I'm happy that she is prioritizing herself and her mental health. I've always felt like players shouldn't be fined for skipping out on a press conference. It's like, it's really not necessary, especially after a loss. And even after a win, be like, shit, I'm tired. Like, I always wanted that, like, baseball, shit, any sport really. It's like, I just got through competing. My body has been taken through like pain and torture. And you want me to come out here and talk to the press, and then they ask me dumbass questions. How do you feel about your loss? And if you're not already, like, if you're in a bad mental place, I can definitely understand that. And I read like one of her interviews where she was saying that one time she just said, like, I really want to cry from like some of the questions that they were asking her. So it's like, I applaud her for that. I don't think athletes should have to do the media, interviews after. I think it should be optional. I don't know. I just feel like I applaud her and I stand behind her 100%. I hope this kind of sheds light on, listen, these people are human. And if you're making them do something that they don't want to do and they've already did their commitment by playing, then leave it alone. I was like, but it also makes you think about, our boy Marshawn Lynch when he was like, why you here? So I don't get fined.
Yeah. It's a double-edged sword because at the end of the day, all of those, all of them are businesses, NFL, NHL, NBA, tennis, etc. They're all businesses, and the way that they promote their sport and allot their sport to make money so that they can, pay out the salaries and prizes and etc is, through promotion. And unfortunately, the media is part of it. I agree that, they shouldn't be forced to have to, like, after losses and things like that. But unfortunately, like I said, it's a double-edged sword because it's always going to be a part of the sport because it's a business first. You know what I mean? As we know, all sports are businesses first. So it's always going to be a part of it. And I think that I applaud her not only for having the foresight to just say, hey, you know what? My mental health is most important. I don't feel like dealing with y'all criticism. I'm a baller. I have enough money. I'm good enough in this sport that if I want to step away for a little bit to take a break, I can do that. I can miss a check. I can miss a bag. I'm most important. So I applaud her for that. And I also applaud her for being willing to say, hey, you know what? This system is flawed. After I get myself together, let's get together and figure out how we can make this system better. And I love that foresight. And I love that we see a lot of this we see happening around women's sports, which is not really talked about enough. Like I've always said, one of the reasons I love the WNBA so much is because out of all the sports, to me, they are the most progressive. The women in that sport continue to amaze me. They always are speaking out. They're always, being, embodying being more than an athlete. You know what I mean? They're always making people understand those are human beings behind athletes. They're not just there to entertain you. They are genuine human beings with thoughts and emotions. And so I just appreciate Naomi, so much more, not only just as a woman, as a Black woman who is just willing to, say, hey, my mental health comes first. Let me do that. But not only that, let me once I get myself together, let me step up to help others so that they don't have to go through the same thing. And I love that.
They do better. I don't know. I think it's always room for improvement.
Yeah. I mean, they're gonna have to find some sort of compromise, because we're seeing more and more and more where athletes are you're starting to see it more and more where athletes are just uncomfortable with it. They're tired of having to always do the media. I mean, like you said, not everyone is as thick-skinned, you know. I mean, I loved Venus Williams because she stepped up and she said, listen, the way I've always dealt with it is, she said, I recognize that I don't really give a damn what none of y'all say, because y'all could never do what I do and hold a candle to me at any point. You know what I mean? So, and I can appreciate that attitude as well, because shit, like she knew she, you know, she said she knew she was good. She knew she dominated, and she knew, hell, none of y'all ever played the sport and could ever do what I do. So who are you to critique or tell me anything? But, you know, not everybody is built like that. And I think that that's where them as the sports world, as sports media, as businesses, they have to get better. They have to understand their players and, you know, and work with their players more to remedy the situation. Because at the end of the day, like I said, they have to make their money. The media is a part of that business, is a part of the game. So they have to find a way to compromise.
Definitely. Well, hopefully we'll see. But you know what? And just piggybacking on that, it's like, bro, a lot of shit got to change. Because even with the recent events in basketball, like jumping sports, like, bro, y'all got to chill. Because, like, y'all throwing popcorn on people's feet, like, they get way more restraint than I get. Because I would have stepped like, yeah, trying their address.
Yeah, agreed. There have been so many crazy instances I've seen across sports. I mean, obviously in the playoffs and the NBA, we've seen a ridiculous amounts of fans just crossing the line. I've even started to see it, you know, across the board. I saw one soccer game they were showing where the soccer team was huddled and the fan like tossed a bottle at the players on the field. Like, I mean, just craziness. Like, y'all out here like, what if that would pop somebody in the head and, you know, knock them out, cause them to have a concussion? Like, you impacted people's careers and livelihoods and possible like, you know what I mean? Like, shit's crazy.
Yeah, definitely. I said we'll definitely see.
Yeah. Hopefully, like you said, we'll see some major changes across all sports. And just like I said, salute to Naomi for having the courage to not only put that out there about her mental health, but being willing to, once she gets herself together, coming back and figuring out ways to help others. Let me see what else we got here. So I saw this pop up across my timeline. El Chapo's wife, she is obviously, as you know, El Chapo and both his wife were arrested. They're facing trial. She is set to plead guilty to helping him run his drug business or drug cartel or whatever. I'm wondering, I didn't read the full article, but I'm wondering if she's taking a plea deal to kind of reduce her sentence so she can, if she like testifies against him or something like that. That's what I'm wondering.
But that's so dangerous and risky.
Listen. Oh man, I because like when I saw it, I was like, how the fuck did they get her to agree to that so quick?
Maybe, hopefully he gave her permission, because it's like, bro, you ain't going nowhere. Like, at least let her be out. You ain't going nowhere. If you you in the US, they probably get you under super duper lock and key. So you ain't going.
So
hopefully.
I don't know. That's why I was just like, when I saw that pop up, I was like, yeah, how the fuck did they flip her so fast?
At first, she was saying she ain't know nothing, and she wasn't, she ain't have no knowledge of it. So
exactly. So that's why I'm like, did she agree to? And I was like, I'm with you. I was like, well, shit, that's risky, girl. Oh man. All right. So let's get to some of the shady mess. We got 2 topics left. They're a little shady. First, let's start with the Ducky Thought comment. Somebody commented on her picture, calling her the Black Kendall Jenner. She obviously clapped back at that and let them know you wouldn't go under Kendall Jenner's comments, talking about she's the white Ducky Thought. Like, why do y'all do that? And my response to that is, why the fuck do y'all do that? Like, what? What are your thoughts?
I'm definitely there because I'm like, first of all, no. Second of all, no. And third, don't do that shit. Like, first of all, they don't look anything alike. Yeah, just don't do that. Because I'm like, I'm trying to be positive, but no. And why the fuck is like, she like the beauty standard and you like, oh, well, you the black her. No, sir, like not taking anything from Kendall, she average. Like just being for me, she's average. And I'm like, Ducky Thought is not average. Like, don't do that Sudanese queen like that, boo-boo.
Big facts. Like, I personally don't see it. Like, whenever they throw these little comparisons and stuff like that, I don't be seeing it. I honestly, I don't know. Like I said, I guess maybe in the picture that they posted of her, maybe it was the way that she smiled, or even maybe just the lighting, or not even the lighting. I mean, just like the photo technique. Because you know how these photographers, they all have like techniques and things. Maybe that's what people, I don't know. I don't know.
Because both of their hair was long and their face is slender. I don't know.
Girl, look, I was trying to shoot them some bail because I don't know.
Like, and obviously it's the thing because she was like, could y'all stop? I'm like, so they did this before? Sorry, don't do this.
Right? Like, I don't get it. I don't see it. I don't understand it. I don't get it. But hey, can we not? That's all I'm gonna say. Can we not? Let's just not do this no more.
Let them be 2 supermodels and call it a day. That's the only thing that they got in common.
Thank you. That's it. That's all. Comparison ends there. All right. So final hot topic for this week. Bonnet-Gate. It took over the internet, very similar to Birkin-Gate. Everybody and they fucking mama had an opinion on it. What are your thoughts?
Flies can go to hell because he started the shit. I guess I get like mine's is kind of like multi-phase. First of all, I really don't care what people wear. Now I will say I think it's rude and it's tacky to take pictures of people without their permission. Like the picture circulating around where the women were in the airport and they had their bonnets on. I'm like, I ain't have an issue with it because people like, well, they outside, but I'm like, they in the airport. Airports are gross. Like most of the time when I get from the airport, I'm like, listen, I really want to just take these clothes off right now and just throw them away, like, because it's nasty. So I'm like, I don't know. I feel like, people like, well, you're in the airport, you never know who you might meet. I mean, who am I supposed to meet there? Because everybody that I want to meet, maybe it's just me be flying private. So I ain't going to meet them at the airport anyway, because I ain't be walking through where my regular ass walking through.
Big facts.
So I'm like, I mean, it ain't like I'm finna walk through this motherfucker and see Beyonce. And I'm like, if it's a celebrity and they so happen to be in the airport, if they gonna take a picture with a fan, they gonna take a picture whether you got a bonnet on or not. I'm like, and Fly's just the wrong motherfucker to be talking because I'm like, take your hat off. Why you doing all that talking? Take your hat off. But for people just in other people's business, I'm like, and making this whole thing about it make Black women look bad. How did it make Black women look bad? Because you get people that want to come outside in a bunny. Who said they slept in the bunny? Who said it ain't an outside bunny? And again, when I'm in the airport, I mean, maybe they want their hair to be nice for Cancun. They don't give a fuck about when I'm boarding from my hometown. Be like, I'm trying to get my shit together. So when I land in, Los Cabos, I'm the bum. So I mean, I feel like it's a little policing. It was really draped in the whole conversation for me was draped in anti-Blackness, respectability, politics. Because no matter how you dress, if somebody gonna respect you, they gonna respect you, and that's just what it boils down to. We are not our grandmamas. So when people like, well, our grandparents didn't go out dressed like that, they couldn't. Simple fact. And they was caught now. I'm like, that's just like most of us have natural hair, or a lot of us have natural hair now. A lot of our grandparents would have not, because that's not what they were taught. So I mean, I feel like to each his own. I personally don't wear a bonnet because my hair slick or my head slick. So I just don't wear them. But I don't knock people that, if I see somebody out in public, I'm like, oh my gosh, she got a bonnet on. You're like, girl, okay, and move on.
Right.
That's just my take on it. It's just like, y'all got to stop with this bullshit. And ain't nobody saying nothing about y'all funk ass do-rags.
Okay. So I'm pretty much on the similar ground with you there. I like when I saw it, it was like I said, I compared it to the whole Birkin conversation too. I was just like, is this what really, like, come on, y'all. But I agree with you. It's this whole concept of respectability. What's respectful? Like I just saw so many people talking about even with the Monique thing, saying that women, when they go out, they, if they're having their blankets covered over them while they at the airport, or they not dressed to the nines, or they got their hair tied, whatever, that they not presenting themselves to the world looking respectful, blah blah blah. And I'm with you in the sense that regardless of how you look, I don't, if somebody don't respect you, they not gonna respect you. That's just big facts. So regardless of how you're looking or not, you know what I'm saying? I've seen people dressed to the nines and they still get talked down to or talk crazy to. So it ain't no thing. Like I give people, I'll salute the chick or the person who can be up in the airport dressed to the nines, because baby, whoo, the way I'm set up, I can't.
Especially with those 6 o'clock flights. Like,
okay. Listen.
Need some legs and a t-shirt. I get dressed when I get there.
Be like, let me make sure I just make the fucking
like, cause I'm running out of time. Like my last 6 o'clock flight, I was like, I want to do this shit again, because I ran out of time. I was like, trying to be cute, because I did my hair before I left that morning. Should have just waited.
I'm just telling you, man. I just be trying to make it through the airport and make my flight on time. I don't have no time. So salute. If you can get dressed to the nines for the airport, salute. More power to you. I don't give a damn. I'm gonna always go to that joint, go through that joint comfortable, because I'm sorry, there's too much things that you gotta do in the airport as is, going through security, taking off shoes, getting patted down, etc. Like, listen, let me just be comfy. Then when I get on the plane, whatever. But even just taking it out of that, jumping back to the whole bonnet thing, like for me, I think a lot of it, and I hate to harp on this, but I just feel like that was one of the glorious things, or one of the best things about the college experience, especially if you lived on campus. Like, you just learn to mind the business that fucking paid you. Like you used if you lived on a college campus, like you will roll up in class and see people pajama pants, looking like they just the same, that's the same outfit that you saw them at the club in, like makeup all dripping on their face, half sleep, sunglasses, whatever. But they showed up, they took their notes or they took their tests or whatever like that, like, and went about their fucking business. And like you, and that was just everybody. And I feel like that's one of the things college taught you, like, shit, mind the business that paid you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't go through my time, you know what I'm saying? Like through my day, focused on other people and they shit. You know what I'm saying? Because I got my own shit to deal with. I ain't got time to be worried about what the next chick got on her body, on her head. Like, that's her business. I'm not in the business of policing other women. I'm just not. I'm sorry. So, so I just get it. You know what I mean? I like I said, I don't knock Monique just because she's of a different generation. And a lot of them, a lot of the aunties, that's why we love them, because they speak their mind. They gonna speak to their generation and what they grew up. I didn't expect, like when I heard Monique give her take on it, I honestly didn't expect anything different from it. Because like you said, our grandmamas and mamas and all of that, they're from a different generation. And at the time, for them, that's how they were brought up, because they had to be. You know what I mean? They had to be presentable all the time because that's how they made Black people feel. But now we're moving into these newer generations where we have so many people who are so more progressive now, so many people who are so more accepting of each other. And these young people, man, like I said, salute to these young folks coming up. I feel like I personally feel like it started with us, even though we get so much flack as millennials. I feel like it started with us. We was kind of the generation that started to kick that door down of like, listen, all that old timey shit that y'all was doing before, we not going for it no more. So, and then these Gen Zers, man, they just kind of took that ball and ran with it. So I just feel like people have to get accustomed to change. And again, mind the fucking business that pay you, man. Worry about yourselves.
With something like this, be like, it ain't killing nobody, it ain't hurting you, ain't hurting nobody else. And it's a bonnet. Be like,
basically.
And people like, well, you sleep in it. No, you sleep in yours. Everybody that got one on don't mean that they slipping.
Right.
So I'm like, it's a lot of assumptions that's being made. I mean, I don't like I said, we don't have to be. I've seen somebody share a photo, listen, from the 1940s. The 1940s. Here we are almost 800 years later. You shared a photo of Black women from the 1940s traveling by train. I'm like, that was a luxury. So of course they're going to dress up because it was a luxury. I'm like, y'all need to stop acting like y'all running out here seeing Black women in bonnets, at Tao or something like that. You're not.
Right.
I'm seeing Black women in bonnets at Walmart. Girl, you don't get the fuck. It's Walmart. Worry about who's gonna scan your fucking groceries. While you worried about a bunny.
Right.
The airport. Like the airport gross. Cover your head. Right. So shit, I be thinking about, I'm like, you know what? That ain't really bad. And I'm like, just to be honest, I done went through the airport in a twist out. Because them joints one dry. I'm like, I can't take my twist out because it ain't dry yet.
Right.
And it's gonna be messed up. So right before I landed, I was taking it down. Like literally, they was like, we are landed in 20 minutes. I was like, you know what, let me go ahead and take my rest of my twist out down because they dry. I couldn't afford to take them down before then because they were too wet.
That's true. That's true.
So I'm like, I can't knock and be like, listen, you can tell it was a twist out. The parts weren't right, nothing. So I'm like, I ain't finna be knocking nobody. I'm like, I done seen people on a plane getting dressed. I mean, and the people on planes be nasty as hell. I'm like, have y'all seen the people that be traveling? Traveling. You worried about a bunch.
Exactly. And that is another thing that I would just like to point out. I'm like, so y'all just pinpointing this as like a Black people thing? Because I'm just like, so y'all ain't never seen everybody else in their pajamas? Like, I literally saw a white girl in the airport barefoot in the motherfucker in some pajama pants barefoot, and I just was like,
listen,
you ain't got no shoes on? Like, I would be more concerned about folks who walking around in airports with no shoes.
Be like, nasty. And where the fuck you going? And I saw one person in the airport, white. She had on literally the little Victoria's Secret onesie that got the buttons on the butt. Be like, yeah, so you know them certifiable pajamas. But okay.
Okay, exactly. So I just was like, so this y'all just really trying to make this a Black people thing, like Black people the only ones who just come to the airport however they coming through. I mean, listen, again, just mind your business. If it ain't hurting nobody and ain't, then why do we care? Let people do them, simple as that.
Listen.
All right, so that's all we got for hot topics this week. Let's go ahead and move into the relationship portion of the show. Did you want to start or did you want me to start?
It don't matter. I guess I can start.
Okay.
So in recent news, we've seen a lot of posts. Well, I don't know if you have, but I have seen like a few where women are proposing to men. So how do you feel about that?
So I'm trying to be a better me, right? And I'm trying to be progressive and so my progressive heart wants to say, okay, I get it. But the truth of the matter is, no, I don't get it. I don't understand it. It could never be me. Like, I don't know where this trend has come from. Like, I would be completely honest to you. I saw that picture of the very pregnant girl down on her knee in front of this man. And I said to myself, now, sis, there's no part of me that would ever marry a man that will let my big old pregnant self get down on a knee in front of him and propose to him and be there just like, oh my, what? There's no part of me that would want a man that would want me to do that. Like, I can't, I don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't know. Like, again, I mean, apart, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to be more progressive about it. And like, so I guess, maybe that's where the trend is coming from. It's like, if you want to want somebody, you want marriage, then propose to him too. I don't know. I don't know. It could never be me. That's all I'm gonna say, man. I don't. Woo. What about yourself?
I'd rather eat a motor. Just be honest. I can't. Like, and I'm like you. Like, I know we like, okay, things gotta progress to all this, but I just still feel like that's the man thing, and not even just like, I guess not even biblical, but I don't know. I just couldn't. I wouldn't want a man that would be like, oh yeah, get down on your knees and propose marriage to me. It's like, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Like, because I know it's a lot of it is just ingrained in my head. Like, this is what's supposed to happen, and it's like, well, if you love me, but it's like, I just can't do it. Like, I get it. Like, oh, you love him, and if a man loved you and he proposed, but I'm like, you want to buy him an engagement ring? Like, it. I can't do it. And then pregnant, girl, you out of your mind.
Listen.
Like, I don't care how progressive the world get. We could be flying cars. I'm not proposing ever.
Listen, girl. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, out of all the times I've seen like the whole pictures of girls proposing to dudes, the one I'm the pregnant girl, that one was just like, I just, with the other girls, it was like, okay, whatever. But, still could be me, but to each his own. But the pregnant girl, like, I just, in my head, I was like, and you still want to marry that dude? He let you get down there on your knee. You carrying his child. And you still want to marry him? Like, I don't get it. Oh,
like,
man.
Was he shocked? Did he hold his face and be like, oh my gosh, it's just too much? Be like,
girl, look, hold on. You must have didn't see the picture because he sure did look shocked too. Like, he was just like excited. And I just was like,
have you ever noticed that like a lot of men, when you see like the photos or you see like especially the videos, they be like, it don't ever be like how women are like, oh my gosh, I'm getting proposed. It's always like, what the fuck
are you doing? Exactly. They always look like that. What are you doing, sis?
And be like, okay, so I don't embarrass you in public. I'm gonna say it. Like, I don't want that. Like, I feel like I want my man to be a leader. And the first part of showing me that is that you can propose. Like, no.
I mean, and you know what another part is of it for me is that I'm not big on public proposals anyway. So that part for me is already cringy, but it just, I don't know, ladies. Like I said, I'm trying to be more progressive. I'm trying to get there with y'all, but that's just one of them ones where I'm just like, you know what I mean? That's just one of the ones where I might have to put me in the auntie category for a minute. Like, as an auntie, I can't be there with y'all. I can't be there with y'all. You know,
you can have that trend.
Exactly. Y'all can have that one. I can't join that one with you. But to each his own. I guess to each his own. Woo.
I guess in our words, it's none of our business.
Right? There we go. There it is. There it is. Ain't none of our business.
Don't do it.
Definitely don't do it if your ass is pregnant. I don't give a damn. I'm gonna say
and
that.
You're like, no, ma'am. First of all, how the fuck did you get down there? How you gonna get back up? If this nigga can't even get out on one knee and propose to you, Jesus Christ.
Listen, that's the one I'm putting my foot down on. Don't get your pregnant ass down there. Don't do that. All right. So my question this week, so we've been seeing this rash of like people who are getting back with their exes. Obviously, even though I don't really care for her, Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck are taking it back to 2004 or whatever when they was engaged and jumping back into the whole dating ex thing. So my question this week is, would you ever date an ex again?
Just put this disclaimer out here. I know because I'm married, but if I would, I have one ex that I would date again. And the reason why I say that, I know people like, you never supposed to go back. He was so honest and truthful. He was like literally the only ex I have ever had that was flat out honest. Like, he real life was like, hey, you're a good person. I like you. You're just not the woman that I want. And he was like, this is the woman that I want. And that's what he went and got. He went and got the exact woman that he wants. And I couldn't knock him for that. Like, my feelings weren't hurt, nothing. I was like, okay, cool.
Okay.
Because it was like, he was honest. And I wasn't the woman for him. Not that, he wasn't a bad person. He didn't treat me bad. I just wasn't a person for him. And like, okay, but of course, that will come with the, if I was to go back and date him, we would be compatible, of course. And even then we were not like two separate or two different, totally different people. We were compatible, but it was just a certain type of woman he was looking for, and I want that woman at all. So, yeah, but that's about it. All them other motherfuckers, hell no, hell, I'd rather die single.
Right.
So, yeah. How about yourself?
So, I feel two ways about this. Full discretion, I'm sort of in this situation right now. So, the person that I'm dealing with was someone from like really early on in college. And it was just a timing thing and a growth thing. Like at the time, like I said, it was really early on in college. Like I was freshman year of college for me. So I was like fresh 18, college experience, like super duper young. And now, obviously I'm in my 30s, completely different, change. He's grown, he's changed. I've grown, I've changed. So in that aspect, like it, when it's just one of those things where just the timing was off, I would say sure, but like just as in general, no. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if it was obviously if I had like a legitimate like relationship, like we had this full-blown legitimate relationship and the shit just didn't work for whatever reasons that it didn't work, I'm not gonna go back and be like, oh well, let's give this another try again, because chances are that shit just ain't gonna work. You know what I mean? Like it just wasn't meant to work. But again, like I do honestly believe that there are spaces in your life where there are people in your lives that you meet that the timing is just off, and that may be why y'all don't work. You know what I mean? Like you're just in different spaces in life at that time, and then as you get older, or you come to a space, a different space in your life, y'all find that y'all, oh okay, everything aligns up right. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But
general rule, like I said, general rule of thumb, no, not going back. I ain't doing it. Because I don't like half y'all niggas.
Be like, I still be looking like, what the fuck was I thinking about? Like,
exactly.
What was you on? Like, I got one ex I still think about, be like, girl. Like, and I still think, I'm like, was my self-esteem that low? Then like, what was I going through in my life that made me go that low? Like,
right.
Wow.
And truth be told, if you really want to know the truth, half of them, listen, after the relationship over, I don't even know y'all. If you want to be truthful.
Like, I thought you posted a picture of him, not him. Like, girl, what picture? Like,
You see me out. Don't even say hello, because I'm just, we met. I don't recall this. Like, sorry, sir. Sorry to you, man. On my Kiki Palmer. Sorry to this man.
I don't know what this man is.
Oh. All right. So that is it for relationships this week. Let's go ahead and jump into any new music, books, TV, anything like that that you want to share with the people.
You say any new
music, books, TV, anything like that?
Yeah. So for music, I did get a chance to listen to Lil Durk and Lil Baby. Listen, the fellas understood the assignment. They even came through with a little extra credit. Like, I be on it. Like, didn't skip a song. There are a few songs that, of course, I went back to and triple, quadruple played. But really a good album. And I never, like, I got a couple of Lil Baby songs on my playlist. I never really listened to Lil Durk. I'm pretty sure there are probably songs that I vibed to in the past that were probably his. But I really like his flow. And Lil Baby, I'm like, bro, breathe. Like, I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Never took you as being a serious rapper like that, but I mean, I see you.
Yeah.
But yeah, he got like a lot of songs on there where I'm like, bro, like, flow insane.
Yeah.
So,
Little baby be in his pocket.
yeah. So I was like, okay, got a new fan. Even though I want you to treat your girlfriend better, but you got a new fan. Listen, a little Jada. But and then for TV, I think it's kind of been like going around one of those documentaries that everybody watching. It's the Dirty John. I'm still on first season because I don't get a chance to watch TV that often, or I really just don't tune in. But when I say foolishness, I mean just foolishness. Like, girl, if you don't leave this man alone.
So, okay, so wait, maybe I'm thinking of something different. So is it a docu-series, a documentary, or is it a series? Because I know I think USA had a series called Dirty John, or was it USA or Lifetime? And it was based on true events, but it was like in a series format.
And it's the same thing. It's like a docu-series. I want to say it's like around maybe like 10 or 12 episodes. I know they have another one. I think it's like Betty something. I haven't got to
Okay,
that.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's just foolishness. Like, and I know they probably added a little sauce into it, to make it appealing. But sweetheart, like, girl, you gotta stop. Like, all the signs were there. You like, just, I don't want to spoil it, but I mean,
Well, you can't really spoil it because it's based on.
yeah, well, like, the man was like a whole stalker, lost his nursing license because he was on drugs. I mean, all the paperwork was there that she found. The only thing that I was tripped out about was that he was so. You would think that if you got all of those charges and things against you, that paperwork you would like hide. He just had the paperwork at her house or at their house, just like out in the open. It wasn't in no lockbox, nothing. So it was always available. It was just weird that, you know, when she found it, he was like, that's not me, blah, blah. Bro, your name is John Neeham or something like that. You ain't that much of a, got that much of a unique name. But also, it ain't that many people that got that much. Like,
Right.
and in this state, in this city, you married to this person, and you tell me you married to this person. So it was just like, ma'am, and your daughter already done told you, like, he showed up on our first date, and me and Julian was watching. That's my husband, but yeah, and he was like, why her daughter treat him like that, talking about he was dressed like he was homeless. I said, because he looked homeless. It don't mean, you know how men be like, he could have been testing her, blah, blah, blah. If you're a grown ass doctor, you ain't testing no woman.
Very true.
That man was fucking homeless. And then when we got later on into the series and they went out on like a date, he like, and then he saw him the next time, he like, he had them pants on the other day. Yeah. So what you got to say about that? Like, it was just, and like she, of course, just eating it up, was like, I believe you, blah, blah, blah. Girl, just foolishness. One of them things that it shouldn't even been a series because you should have been left at me.
Yeah. What is that? What is it called? I can't. There's a term for the people who fall for like the serial killers and all of that. I can't remember what that term is, but it just always surprises me the amount of these women who just are with these serial, and it's like all the red flags in the world, and y'all just
like they blinking, just like in your face saying stop, 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 and you just go around the motherfuckers like. it gotta be self-torture because I'm like, oh, and one of the things that he done was he was like, oh, I got this money in an envelope, cash, cold hard cash in an envelope. I don't even know if it was really money in there, but he was like, can you just put this up for me? Girl, she pulls out this huge duffel bag full of money and was like, well, I just keep it in the house, just in case. And he was like, how much in there? She was like, 80 or 90,000. He was like, well, I think we should put it in a safe deposit box. Say what? If a fire something happen, no, you get you a safe that protects against fire. So if your whole house burned down, you can go pick that safe up. No, sir. Then of course, when she went to the safe deposit box, the money went in there. And then he come and was like, oh, I had gave it to my friend to invest. Girl, that money gone.
Gone. Telling you, purely foolishness.
I mean, but in cases like this, I can, like a serial killer, I think those women go after them. This is one of those things, just like, girl, move on. Like, move on. Because I think with like, I watched a documentary about that one time about and this is totally off on a tangent, but about the serial killers, and like women wait for like, oh, let me get that information so I can write them. Fuck, you want to write a serial killer for? Fuck.
Listen, child, telling you, craziness. When you get to season 2, though, you gonna be like, man, because Betty ass was crazy.
Right. But it get worse. Like, I know, like, this is not giving me hope. Like, like the lady's just foolish.
Listen.
Like,
because Betty gonna make you think John was the same, goddamn, because Betty ass was crazy.
Oh my gosh. Listen, I'm about to fast forward and be like, let me just go and hop on this end. And I come back to him. Because right now I'm just looking at her like, I need to run your ass over with like a Prius. I don't want to kill you, but you definitely need to be ran over. And I also watched the spinoff from Law and Order SUV with Stabler.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool. It started a little slow. But it picked up though for me. It's a good little series. So I'm like caught up on that. I just don't know if Elliot, like, if him and Benson trying to like go there with each other. I just think that'll be
weird.
Yeah, like, because I think of them almost like having like a familiar like brother and sister relationship. So can't imagine them like going together.
Well, I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, we'll see. But that's all for me.
Okay. So on my end, I just been checking out the usuals. Obviously we're coming up on the end of a lot of seasons. A lot of shows have come into the end of their what we call in the COVID seasons. So I caught the Grey's and Station 19 season finales. They both were pretty good. I just watched the season finale for New Amsterdam yesterday. It was super good. I loved it. But outside of that, I haven't really been catching up on anything else. No new music or anything like that. I am looking forward to on Hulu, Love, Simon. I told you guys. I'm sorry, it's called on Hulu. The movie was called Love, Simon, but the show on Hulu is called Love, Victor. I loved the first season. I really enjoyed it. It did get picked up for season 2, and it's supposed to be premiering on Hulu either sometime, I believe it's sometime next month. So I'm looking forward to that, to kind of see where it goes. I think they're going to finally, the first season, he hadn't officially came out to his family because he's Hispanic. And Hispanics are known to be highly religious, really Catholic. He's has a really kind of old school Hispanic Catholic family, and so this season, the second season, is really going to focus on that aspect of him coming out to his family, and just being out. So we'll kind of I'm interested to see how they, their take on that. So that's probably going to be my next thing that I check out. But aside from that, nothing else on my end. So let's go ahead now and jump into your rants for the week.
My rant for the week is going to be short. I saw that the Silento, I hope I'm saying that his name right, basically was denied bond in his criminal case because his mental health issues would harm the community. And I mean, I'm not one of those people that's like, hey, I want Black people, people of color to get away with what white people get away. No, I want, if A go to jail for it, B go to jail for it, they all serve the same time. And I just find it like, I don't even find it crazy no more because of the times that we in and the things that we know. It still kind of gets under my skin because it's like, mental health issues are impacts the community or can harm the community, but y'all constantly let white men roam free with their mental health issues. Or, oh yeah, I think one of the mass murderers or whatever, I think that was in Oregon, was investigated by the police and had mental health issues, and y'all just, oh well, we're just gonna let that go. And we saw what came of that. And it's just, like I said, I definitely think he needs to serve his time for the crime that he committed. But I'm just like, it just irks me, this selective sentencing, I guess, if that's what a good word for it, that what mental health can do. And I feel like, is he gonna get the help that he needs, like mentally, while he's in jail? But that it impacts the community, but y'all still let these white men run rapid, and I mean, we know why, but it just
right, because they tell you justice is supposed to be blind, but listen, we all know that's not the case.
You see color.
Basically.
Y'all let her still in 2021. Somebody, you don't see color, but you see color.
Very true. Anything else?
Nope, that was all for my rant.
All right, so I'm gonna quickly jump into this week's nerd moment of the week. Just a few quick hitters. So we saw Cam in the we got the first look of the Batwing suit. It's going to be premiering on this week's episode of Batwoman. He looks incredible. I love it. It's so comic accurate. They did a really, really good job on his suit. I'm excited to just see his take on it. I love it. I'm excited for it. Also heading over to the Netflix side. The last time we did a show, I talked to you guys about Jupiter's Legacy because I had just watched it. And I told y'all that the pacing of the show, man, I said it was super slow. And I felt like I told you, I was like, if you could make it through it, it was worth the payoff at the end, but the pacing was just so bad. Well, long story short, Netflix has decided to, despite how well it did, Netflix decided to pull the plug on it. So there will not be a season 2 unless it is supposedly being shopped to other networks. So it's being shopped to Hulu. So unless Hulu picks it up, that is the end for Jupiter's Legacy. But nonetheless, I kind of told y'all, man, telling you that pacing was horrendous. Also on the Netflix side, Shadow and Bone, you guys know that was another show that I reviewed that same week. I told you I absolutely loved it. and I was crossing my fingers and hoping that Netflix did pick it up for a second season. It has been confirmed that Netflix did pick it up for season 2. I'm super excited for it. I can't wait to see where they go with it. Like, when I tell you a show that was done really well, Shadow and Bone was done really well. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I cannot wait for season 2. I'm crossing my fingers that Netflix doesn't pull a like they have done with so many other shows where they tell us it's renewed, and then we're sitting and waiting for the next season to drop, and then all of a sudden, but no, we canceled it. So nonetheless, I'm still holding my breath until they actually give us like a release date or something. Also, over on the Disney Plus side, Loki, the first episode aired tonight. I haven't checked it out yet, but I'll probably log in there sometime during the weekend and check that out. The reviews for it so far have been really well. It's been really well received. I really didn't expect it to not be, though. Marvel just, delivers. They've been hitting it out of the park. They deliver. So I'm not really too concerned about that. And lastly, now this is a show that I didn't get into. I didn't watch it. It was not my cup of tea, and that is Game of Thrones. But they do have a prequel in the works called House of Dragons. We have been seeing some of the recent set photos and things of that. So it is currently in production, being shot. Sophie Turner is set to reprise her role from Game of Thrones. So she is going to be making her way there to start shooting in a couple of weeks. If I saw her interview correctly, maybe a couple weeks or a couple days, I'm not sure. But nonetheless, so for all you Game of Thrones fans out there, you'll be getting some more from that universe pretty soon. And yeah, that's it for me as far as the nerd moment of the week. Anything else on your end, Falan DeAnn?
Nothing else for me.
All right, so then per usual, we want to thank you guys so much for tuning in and listening. Again, we want to hear from you guys, so make sure you visit the website, prettynerdspodcast.com. That's nerds with the Z. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your evening. Good night.
Good night.